Ladies and gentlemen, right now, in this very moment, you have inside of you the power to change everything. The power to turn a dream you've carried in your heart into reality. But let's be honest, most people never do it. Why? Because fear whispers louder than possibility. Doubt convinces them it's safer to settle for less. And slowly, they forget what it feels like to be alive. But not you. You're here because something inside you refuses to stay small. There's a fire in you that knows you were meant for more. Listen to me. Your dream chose you for a reason. It's not random. It's not an accident. That vision you see when you close your eyes. It's calling you. And if you don't chase it, if you don't give it everything you've got, a part of you will always wonder, what if? Yes, it will be hard. Yes, you will face rejection, setbacks, and moments when you want to quit. But let me remind you, the pain of discipline is always less than the pain of regret. You can suffer the temporary discomfort of chasing your dream, or you can live with the permanent ache of never knowing what could have been. So what do? You decide, not tomorrow, not next week, today. You draw a line in the sand and say, I will no longer let fear control me. I will no longer settle for average. I will no longer put my dream on hold. And when you feel like giving up, you remember this. The breakthrough always comes right after the struggle. The moment you think you can't take another step, that's the very moment you're about to rise to a new level. So go after your dream with relentless energy, with passion, with a commitment so strong that failure is not an option, because you're not here to live someone else's life. You're here to live the life you were created for. And when you do, not only will you transform your own life, you'll inspire others to believe they can do the same. So I challenge you, starting today, chase your dream like your life depends on it, because it does. Thank you. Your dream chose you for a reason. Think about that for a moment. Out of billions of people in this world, the vision you hold in your heart is yours, not someone else's. That dream was planted inside of you because you are uniquely equipped to bring it to life. Too often, people treat their dreams like distant wishes, like something only lucky people get to achieve. But the truth is your dream exists because it's a part of your identity. It's the whisper in your soul that won't go away, no matter how many times you try to ignore it. And the reason it keeps coming back is because it belongs to you. It is not a random thought. It is not an accident. It is your calling. When you were younger, you probably had a vision of yourself doing something bold, something extraordinary. Over time, life may have tried to convince you to shrink that vision, to play it safe, to trade passion for security. You may have been told you weren't capable enough, smart enough, or talented enough. But let's get something clear. If the dream lives inside you, it's because you already have within you the potential to bring it into reality. That doesn't mean it will be easy, but it does mean you are capable. It means the resources, the ideas, the courage you need will come the moment you decide to pursue it with your whole heart. Every person who ever achieved greatness started where you are, holding a dream that felt bigger than themselves. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't have a perfect plan. They simply trusted that the reason the dream was inside of them was because it was theirs to chase, and that trust pushed them to take the first step, even when they didn't feel ready. That's the difference between those who live their dream and those who die with it still inside them. It's not luck. It's not chance. It's the decision to believe that their dream was meant for them. You may be looking around and comparing yourself to others, thinking they have more talent, more connections, more money, more time. But you don't need to be them. You only need to be you. The dream didn't choose them, it chose you. And it chose you for a reason. Your unique story, your struggles, your experiences, all of these have shaped you into the one person who can bring this vision into the world in the way only you can. That's why ignoring your dream is not just denying yourself, it's denying the world the gift only you can give. There will always be voices that try to convince you your dream is impossible. Society rewards conformity. Most people are more comfortable following the path that others have already taken than carving out their own. But the moment you realize your dream chose you, You stop looking for permission. You stop waiting for approval. You stop needing someone else to validate your vision. You understand that no one else has to see it, no one else has to believe in it, no one else has to understand it. Because it wasn't given to them, it was given to you. That dream is your responsibility. It's your mission. And it doesn't matter how many times you've failed before. It doesn't matter how many times you've doubted yourself. It doesn't matter how many obstacles stand in your way. What matters is that you recognize that vision as a signpost for your life. It's not here to tease you. It's not here to torment you. It's here to show you who you truly are and what you are capable of becoming. When you fully grasp that your dream chose you, you stop treating it like a hobby and start treating it like a duty. You wake up each day knowing you're not chasing something frivolous. You're answering a call, and the moment you embrace that truth, fear begins to lose its grip. Doubt starts to fade. Excuses no longer carry the same weight. Because deep down you know you are not chasing something random. You are chasing the very thing you were created to bring into the world. Fear and doubt are illusions. Break through them. The reason most people never go after what they truly want is not because they don't have the ability, but because they allow fear and doubt to paralyze them. Fear whispers lies in your ear, telling you that you're not ready, not strong enough, not smart enough, not worthy enough. Doubt convinces you to settle for less than you're capable of because it feels safer, because it feels familiar. But the truth is, fear and doubt are not real barriers. They are mental constructs, stories your mind creates to protect you from risk, from uncertainty, from discomfort. They feel real, they look real, but they are illusions designed to keep you exactly where you are. Every breakthrough in history has come from someone willing to walk through fear instead of running from it. Fear shows up right before the biggest opportunities in your life. It shows up because your brain is wired to keep you safe, not to make you great. Safe means predictable. Safe means comfortable. Safe means average. But you weren't born to be average. You were born with the potential to create, to grow, to impact, and to live fully. And in order to do that, you must be willing to step beyond the illusion of fear. Doubt is fear's partner. It creeps in quietly, making you question every decision, every step, every action you take toward your dream. Doubt tells you to wait until the perfect time, the perfect conditions, the perfect plan. But perfection never arrives. It's a trap that keeps you from moving forward. The truth is, the only way to silence doubt is through action. Action kills doubt. The moment you start moving, the moment you take the first step, you take power away from the illusion that has been holding you hostage. Think about the times in your life when you were terrified to do something, but you did it anyway. Maybe it was speaking in front of a crowd. Maybe it was taking a leap in your career. Maybe it was telling someone how you truly felt. In the moment, the fear felt enormous. But once you did it, you realized the fear had no real substance. It was only smoke and mirrors. And what was waiting on the other side was growth, confidence, and proof that you are capable of more than you thought. That's how fear and doubt always work. They grow in your mind until you confront them, and then they vanish like shadows in the light. The most successful people you know are not fearless. They feel fear just like you. The difference is they've trained themselves to move forward in spite of it. They've learned to recognize fear as a signal, not to stop, but to go. Because when fear shows up, it means you are on the edge of something meaningful. It means you are stretching beyond your comfort zone. It means you are about to grow, and growth never happens in the realm of comfort. Fear and doubt will always be there, whispering, tempting you to turn back. But the illusion loses its power the moment you decide not to obey it. The moment you say, "I will not let this false voice dictate my life," you reclaim control. You begin to see that the walls you thought were holding you back were never real. They were made of nothing but thoughts. Breaking through fear and doubt doesn't mean they disappear forever. It means you stop waiting for them to go away before you act. It means you act in spite of them. You take the leap, make the call, start the project, begin the journey. knowing that your courage will grow each time you prove to yourself that the illusion cannot stop you. Because every time you face fear and move forward, you build an unshakable belief in yourself. You create evidence that you are stronger than the lies your mind tries to sell you. You realize that fear and doubt were never walls, they were only doors waiting for you to walk through. The pain of discipline is less than the pain of regret. Discipline is the daily commitment to do what must be done, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it costs you time, energy, or convenience. At first, it feels like a sacrifice. Waking up earlier than you want to, pushing through the workout when your body is screaming to quit, saying no to distractions when everyone else is indulging. It can feel like a burden. But what you're really doing is investing in yourself, building the habits and consistency that will create the life you want. The truth is, discipline always carries some degree of pain. It's the pain of effort, the pain of patience, the pain of sticking with something when the results aren't immediate. It's choosing long-term rewards over short-term comfort. And because the human brain craves instant gratification, discipline often feels like a battle. But the cost of that temporary discomfort is nothing compared to the lifelong weight of regret. Regret is heavier than any early morning alarm. It is more painful than any workout, any sacrifice, any hour spent studying, working, or creating. Regret doesn't just sting, it lingers. It whispers at you when you're older, reminding you of the opportunities you passed up, the dreams you abandoned, the goals you never committed to. Discipline may ask for sweat, for focus, for determination, but regret demands your peace of mind for the rest of your life. Think about the moments when you avoided discipline. Maybe you skipped taking action because you were tired, or you put off pursuing a goal because it was inconvenient. In the moment, it felt like relief. But later, didn't it feel heavier? Didn't you look back wishing you had chosen differently? That's the difference. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret can last forever. When you practice discipline, you're teaching yourself to value your future self more than your present comfort. Every time you choose discipline, you cast a vote for the life you truly want, not just the life that's easy right now. And the more votes you cast, the stronger your future becomes. Success is not built in one big leap. It's built in the daily repetition of small, disciplined actions. Discipline also creates freedom. It might sound like the opposite, but it's true. When you commit to discipline, you free yourself from the chaos of procrastination, from the stress of last-minute scrambling, from the weight of knowing you could have done better. You gain the freedom of confidence, the freedom of results, the freedom of knowing you are in control of your destiny instead of being controlled by your excuses. Regret steals that freedom. It traps you in what if I had tried harder? What if I had started sooner? What if I hadn't given up? And the cruel thing about regret is that it grows with time. The longer you avoid discipline, the more regret compounds, until it becomes a shadow that follows you everywhere. The truth is, you will always pay a price. There is no avoiding pain. The question is, which pain will you choose, the temporary, sharpening pain of discipline, or the dull, crushing, lifelong pain of regret? One shapes you, the other breaks you. One demands effort, the other steals your peace. And in every moment, you have the power to decide which you will carry. When you feel the weight of discipline pressing down on you, remember that it is far lighter than the weight of regret you'll feel if you let your dreams pass you by. Every rep you push through, every hour you dedicate, every sacrifice you make, is a step away from regret and a step closer to the life you want. The pain is not punishment. It is proof that you are moving forward, that you are refusing to settle, that you are strong enough to choose your future over your excuses. Decide today, commit fully, no excuses. Everything changes the moment you make a real decision. Not a wish, not a hope, not a vague idea you'll get around to someday, but a firm and unshakable decision that you will go after what you want no matter what it takes. Most people never reach their dreams because they leave the door open for excuses. They say, "I'll start when I have more time," or "I'll try once things calm down," or "I'll go for it when I feel ready." But there is no perfect time, no ideal circumstance, no moment when you will suddenly feel fully ready. Waiting for conditions to be perfect is the biggest trap that steals dreams. The only time you ever truly have is today, and the only real power you have is the decision you make in this moment. Commitment means burning the boats. It means removing the exit strategy, tearing up the backup plan, and telling yourself that there is no turning back. It's easy to dabble, to half commit, to give something your energy when it's convenient and pull back when it's uncomfortable. But dabbling never creates greatness. Commitment does. When you commit fully, you activate a level of focus, creativity, and determination you didn't even know you had. Obstacles that once looked like walls start to look like challenges you can solve. Doors that seemed locked suddenly reveal handles. Opportunities that once felt invisible begin to appear because your entire being is aligned with your decision. No excuses means exactly that. Excuses are seductive because they let you off the hook in the moment. They give you a temporary sense of relief by convincing you that you're justified in not following through. But the truth is, every excuse you allow chips away at your belief in yourself. Every excuse tells your subconscious that your dream doesn't matter enough. And little by little, those excuses pile up until you've convinced yourself you were never capable in the first place. The moment you eliminate excuses, you strip away the false stories holding you back. You stop saying, "I don't have time," and you admit, "I didn't make it a priority." You stop saying, "I don't have the resources," and you ask, "How can I create the resources?" You stop saying, "It's not the right time." And you acknowledge that waiting only guarantees you'll still be waiting a year from now. Excuses keep you comfortable, but they also keep you stuck. And if you want to live a life beyond limits, comfort cannot be your master. Deciding today and committing fully is not about knowing the entire path. You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You only need the courage to decide that you will climb, no matter how high, no matter how difficult, no matter how uncertain. Because once you commit, momentum begins to work in your favor. Each action you take, no matter how small, compounds. Each step proves to you that you can take the next. And soon, what once felt impossible starts to feel inevitable. There's a power in urgency. When you tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, tomorrow becomes a habit. Tomorrow becomes next week, next month, next year. And before you know it, years have passed, and the dream you once felt burning inside has grown cold. But when you decide today, when you act in this moment, you harness urgency as a weapon. You give yourself no escape route, no delay, no excuse. You step into the truth that your life is happening now, not someday. Commitment also changes how you handle failure. When you are only half in, failure feels like a reason to quit. When you are fully committed, failure becomes feedback. It's not the end, it's a lesson, a redirection, a stepping stone. Because when you've already decided there's no turning back, you stop treating setbacks as signals to stop and start treating them as fuel to keep going. You adjust, you learn, you grow, but you never quit. The decision you make today will determine the life you live tomorrow, and the depth of your commitment will determine how far you go. If you want a life that inspires you, a life that fulfills you, a life that reflects your true potential, you cannot approach it casually. You must decide today, commit fully, and refuse to give yourself permission to back down, no matter how hard the road becomes. Breakthrough comes right after the struggle. When you are pushing toward a dream, there will come a point when everything feels heavy, when progress feels painfully slow, and when you wonder if it's even worth it. That point is where most people quit. They interpret the struggle as a sign they're not meant to succeed. But the truth is, struggle is not a signal to stop. It's the test before the breakthrough. It's the pressure that prepares you for the very thing you've been asking for. Every worthwhile achievement demands a price, and that price is usually paid in the form of persistence through struggle. The universe doesn't hand you results the moment you ask for them. It requires you to prove how badly you want it. It wants to see if you're willing to keep moving when the excitement fades, when the support isn't there, when the results haven't yet shown up. Struggle is the filter that separates those who merely wish from those who are truly committed. Think about the last time you faced something difficult. You may have felt like you were being stretched to your limits, like you had nothing left to give. Yet, if you look closely, those moments taught you lessons that easy times never could. Struggle forces growth. It breaks old patterns. It builds resilience. It reveals strength you didn't know you had. And most importantly, it places you right at the edge of a breakthrough. The human spirit has an extraordinary ability to endure more than it believes it can. But you'll never discover that power until you're tested. Struggle strips away comfort, and in doing so, it strips away the excuses that have held you back. It demands that you dig deeper, that you find solutions instead of waiting for them, that you become resourceful instead of dependent. Without struggle, there can be no breakthrough, because the very act of pushing through creates the opening for something new to emerge. It's no accident that right before people achieve something great, they often feel like they're on the verge of collapse. That moment of greatest pressure is where the breakthrough is closest. It's like the darkness just before the dawn. You may feel like nothing is working, like you've tried everything, like you can't take another step. But that's when you are closest to the tipping point. That's when all the effort you've been pouring in begins to compound, even if you can't yet see the results. Breakthrough is not about luck. It's about refusing to stop when the struggle intensifies. Most people quit right before the finish line because they confuse difficulty with defeat. They don't realize that the discomfort they're feeling is actually the birth pangs of transformation. The muscle grows strongest not during the easy reps, but during the last, painful ones. The mind sharpens not when things go smoothly, but when it is forced to think differently under pressure. The soul expands not when life is comfortable, but when it is challenged to rise above adversity. Every struggle you face is preparing you for the break. Through you've been seeking, it may not look like progress. It may feel like chaos. But on the other side of that resistance lies the very thing you've been chasing. That's why the struggle feels so intense. The breakthrough is near. And if you can push just a little longer, if you can hold on just a little tighter, if you can resist the urge to quit just one more time, you'll cross into a place you once thought was impossible. The struggle is not your enemy. It is your proving ground. It's the fire that forges you into the version of yourself capable of holding the dream you've been pursuing. Without it, even if you were handed the breakthrough, you wouldn't be ready to handle it. The struggle makes you ready. It equips you with the patience, the discipline, the resilience, and the strength you'll need to not only achieve your breakthrough, but to sustain it once it arrives.